one thing, but losing your mojo is another. And what do I mean by your mojo? Well, I'll give you a clue. Cucumber. Okay, that's what your mojo. When your self-esteem is low, when your doesn't really work as good, when you get to a certain age and you're looking down and you're thinking, you used to be a lot tougher than that. You used to be a lot cleverer than that. You used to have a wee bit more stamina than that. And it faces all men. And the miracle drug, Viagra. It works for some people, doesn't work for all. I had a friend once that took 2. Then didn't do anything. He took 3. He eventually took 4. And he was up all night. Couldn't get rid of the damn thing. But it's not a miracle drug. It has its health issues. And in the UK you have to go through some embarrassing questions in order to get the drug. And it's just 4 and expensive. But is it an age thing? Or is it a mental thing that makes that seem more like a curved banana? I question it all the time. And lo and behold, I knew a grandfather one time whose wife had to buy him naughty magazines. And says, when would I be, when are you going to leave me alone? And he says, when I'm dead, buried in a box. And probably was buried in a box with an extra bit added on. Couldn't lay him flat. But aside all that, it is demoralising. It does get you down. You remember sitcoms or movies where you see women going for the younger guy because they've got more stamina. Your body, and your probably partner's body, isn't the way you used to remember. Isn't the way that you see in programs like Outlander or programs of, porn or whatnot. Bodies ain't the same when you get to a certain age. Your attention deficit or whatnot, it just all changes and it gets you low. And then you have to find out what else you can spend your time with. And that's probably the middle age crisis, when no longer do you feel like a man. And women complain about it quite a lot. Women complain, women go through the menopause, so they get it as well. And or women's hormones goes up, while the men's hormones go down. Women wants it more, men wants it less, and it's trying to keep that couple together. And hopefully by the time it gets to that stage, sex isn't really all that important. And I get it. I do. I used to go and work and joke about it, and I found that the young ones were a wee bit prudish about it. Then I turned to the old ones and they don't want to talk about it. There is definitely a divide between young and old when it comes to sex. We're not like Sweden or Holland or whatnot when we're more open about it. I don't know what it's like in your country, but for me, I believe we should be more open about it. Men should be more open with their feelings. Men should be crying more. Men should talk more, and just to know that there's other men out there with the similar problems, with the similar fears. Just to know that I aren't alone in the world. There should actually be one of those, and there probably is, I haven't looked at it, a self-help mojo group that, I don't know, it would be probably like one of those porn videos, where you get the women, the puffer or whatever their names are, and it's their job to get the men ready for the scene. That's maybe what these clubs should be like for men that's lost their mojo, and it seems like, what's happened to you? You were 20 years ago, you were stiff as a rock. I could leave shit on you, coat hangers, you name it. Now, people that used to last an hour last for 3 minutes. It's dissatisfying. Yeah, and a lot of people say it's a mental thing. Women get it easy. It's just lying on their backs for them. And a wee bit of KY and they're good to go. But for men, it's a mental struggle. We think about it a lot, and then by the time it comes to it, we have to think about something else. And then we can't think about too much about something else, because if we don't, because then we'll sort of lose the concentration in that. We've grown up in a society when we were young, when we could watch turtles making love and somehow get turned on, but then when we get older, it just doesn't seem to have any effect. Who knows? It's a change. It is definitely a change. But as I say, maybe these self-help, regain your mojo, I don't know. Maybe it should be, I mean, I remember my grandfather, he had a colostomy bag and a catheter bag. Took him to a lap dancing place. Oh, he enjoyed it. You know, he loved it. And he always wanted a female partner. Don't know if it was about sex or anything like that, but he loved to bear it. He loved the bare backsides and the chests. There's always something sexual with a woman's appearance that arouses inside a man. But when the mojo's gone, it basically is internal for about 5 seconds, then that's about it. And men want to have that mojo of a 20-year-old, and that's what's frustrating. That is what's frustrating. When we were younger, we could, if we were anxious or in a mood, we could knock one off and be happy. But now, when you get older, you don't have that much. You don't have that outlet. You've just got, I can't be a man anymore. I can't satisfy anybody anymore. So this is what comes when you get older and older and older. And that's why I made this in a mind video channel, in order to make sure that if anybody watches it, or any man watches it, that they suddenly think, well, he's talking about a point that I like to talk about. I'm not the only one. And believe me, you're not. Maybe we should all go to sex therapists. Maybe we should all be given free Viagra in order to... And some women shouldn't take offence for men taking Viagra. I know some women do. It'd be almost like women catching the men looking at a porno mag. We think about sex differently. You know, we're not wanting to cheat or anything like that. It's just a quick release. And Viagra gives men back that confidence. It's that extra helping hand. But when you get older, you know, you can't afford to keep buying Viagra every week, or taking a pill and then hoping that your partner's in the same mood, in the same frame of mind, that when you take one, it's like, okay, in 20 minutes it should be ready to go. And then again your mind's acting against the effect of the pill. Sex is just... I think when you get older as a man, turns more and more into a solo, for most people, turns into a solo experience. Because that way, if it becomes solo, you feel like you're not going to insult your partner, you know, by only lasting for a few minutes. So if you're out there and you've lost your mojo, or you find your wife buying a lot of these all of a sudden, why not ask her to get asparagus instead? Maybe that'll rekindle things. Maybe you need more date nights. Maybe you need to run out more and exercise more, and hopefully that will get the adrenaline and pumping going. maybe you should all sit down and watch porn, and sit down together and watch it. Because living together for so many years, you might not turn each other on as well as you used to. But just know that you're not alone. And women tend to lose their mojo too. We just need to all talk about it. Catch you next time.